What's up, everybody? Welcome to my review of the Latitude 64 Sarek. Big thank you to Next Generation Disc Golf for sponsoring this review. I am actually part of the social media team now, working with Next Generation, so go check out what I've been up to and follow us on Instagram at NextGen Disc Golf to stay up to date with the tour. These are the discs that would come in the players pack for any of the Next Gen PDGA C-Tier events. So even if you're not really necessarily looking to qualify for the regionals or for the finals, you can play any of the qualifier events as a standalone PDGA C-Tier with a ton of prizes, great players pack including both of these discs, vouchers to Latitude 64 Customs. You also have all the prizes, trophy discs, all that kind of same stuff that you'd get from any other C-Tier event, even if you don't necessarily want to try to qualify or whatever. But if you do, and you do well, you can move on to the regionals and to the finals. The winner of the finals is going to get a brand new car, just like last year, so that should be pretty exciting. Enough of that, let's move on to the review of the Sarek, the Ballista Pro, Burst Gold Line Ballista Pro. I'm not reviewing this one because I already reviewed the Ballista Pro here on my channel. You can check that out if you're interested. I'm giving this one away. Check the description below for a link to the video where I tell you how to win this one. If you're interested, you can see it says next. This one says Jen. The artwork is done by Cynthia Whitaker, Synergy Art. Next Generation Disc Golf. There's the logo. We have the Latitude logo here. I like the lettering. Limited edition 2K Moonshine Burst Sarek. So the flight plate is Burst Gold Line, and the rim is actually a Moonshine Glow rim. So the disc will actually glow really nicely. If you light it up with a UV flashlight, it glows really nice. So you can play some glow rounds or play catch at night or whatever else you want to do with it. Also, just a really bright, easy to spot disc out there in the woods. I really like discs with white rims like my Gobies, and this disc really stand out nicely against the background when you're out testing or throwing in rounds, and that's always nice to be able to find your plastic. 175 grams for this particular one. You can see it's got a pretty noticeable dome to this one. Very rounded dome top across the top of the flight plate of this thing. I have noticed with the Sareks that they vary to some degree. I've found some at my local shop that had a more of a puddle top. This one has a pretty pronounced dome, as you can see. So I think there's a little variation in terms of how they come out of the mold. I'm not exactly sure how to describe the differences in flight, but I would imagine the domey ones are a little bit more touchy and also probably have a little bit more glide. This thing overall feels really nice. I like the plastic. It's got a little bit of flexibility to it, really grippy, very smooth, comfortable profile. Let's put it up next to a couple other options. This is my Opto Caltrop. Just aced with this one the other day. Stoked on that. It's flying really nice. Much more overstable, but it's another putter I have laying around, so I like to be able to compare. You can see the Caltrop's maybe a little deeper. It's actually quite a deep dish disc. I never really noticed that until recently. I don't really notice the depth of discs a lot. I feel like a lot of people take that much more seriously or much more into consideration than I do for whatever reason. This is a DGN stamped Prime Warden. I'll also give you an idea of how those look side by side. Definitely some differences there. Similar depth overall. Warden is a nice disc as well. So, good feeling disc in the hand. Let's talk about the flight of this thing. As you can see in the flight demos here with James, they fly really smooth and really straight, especially if you give them a nice consistent angle throughout your throw. I had a few times when I was out field testing this thing out at Rooster Rock where I was trying to throw it off the tee and I saw some wobble out of the hand. I think it was coming from off-axis torque, so the disc might be a little sensitive to that. But if you throw it nice and smooth and keep it on the nice flat plane throughout the throw, it really responds well and gives you a really beautiful neutral flight that will hold a lot of different angles. So you can get it to kind of push soft hyzer, you can get it to stand up pretty flat and straight all the way, good glide no matter how you're throwing it, and it has a little gentle fade when it slows down if you give it enough height. Also will hold a turnover very well, and a very neutral, straight flying disc overall. It's one of those discs that you can tell it wants to go straight for most of the flight, so it's never really ripping over or hyzering out strong one way or the other. It's a very straight flying disc overall with the ability to be pretty neutral and hold release angles to some degree. Definitely getting a little bit of a fade every time, given the height to slow down and pan out. Mostly holding a straight line even as it starts to slow down. Really nice disc. I liked it better personally as an approach disc and inside the circle. Really nice disc to putt with. It really responded well for my putting. I could just pitch it out there nice and flat and straight. It holds the line really well and really caught pretty well as well. Usually more premium discs have a little bit of more trouble getting caught by the baskets. They kind of bounce out. I didn't see any issues with that disc, with this disc at all. Just a data point to throw in there. I like this thing a lot as an approach disc and a putter in and around the basket, but you can see it's definitely a good driving putter and could be a good tool for you to work on that nice smooth form. Because if you can get this thing to stand up and fly nice and smooth like James did, you know you're doing pretty well with your throw. That's my review of the Latitude 64 Sarek. Big thank you to you guys for watching. I will check y'all very soon. Cheers.